Hi, man, peace. So I'm thinking about creating a new series that's going to detail about the behavioral aspects about living in the hood, the ghetto, and more so it's kind of to point a perspective about so-called black men in particular, about their behavioral aspects, how the hood has affected them, and just understanding the psychological breakdowns of why even the behavioral traits of black men do not push us forward, do not push us in a direction where we need to go, and how all of this is affiliated with trying to make this a thing of American culture and especially black culture. So the first video we're going to take a look at, especially this, is about this man that decided to flex money in the hood of Connecticut. And a lot of people who's in a tri-state area, it's a thing in the New Yorkers' minds where we don't really know about the different states and different cities. But a lot of people don't know how ghetto Bridgeport, Connecticut is. And that is one of those biggest cities out there that's really not about the games because everybody assumes that Connecticut is more so a probably rich state. A lot of rich more folks come from Connecticut. There's not really a lot of crime that happens out in Connecticut, but that is not true. There's plenty of hoods in Connecticut where crime is very serious. I would even say certain places is worse than New York. Certain cities in New York, that is, not just New York City. But anyway, let's get to this point and we're going to analyze this as we peep it. So peep. So this video has no sound, but check out the dude that has the money in his hand, right? Watch this. Watch what's gonna happen to him. So basically, I don't know if this dude is smiling about it or he thinks this is a joke, but his life is in serious danger from flexing money in the greens, it's called. I guess a project out there in Connecticut. And the point is this. I did one of these videos called The Hood is a Starting Point, in which I was detailing the fact of the matter that the hood is literally a project where you're being put into an environment where it's impoverished. But the point is to get yourself out of poverty at that point, make something of yourself and become a better person, or in this case, a better man out of those circumstances. And for the longest time, I've never understood particularly why men who get a lot of money, who work hard, who have the 9 to 5 or they're drug hustling, whatever you want to call it, they come back to the hood to flex money towards people who do not have the same finances as them and then get all surprised if they do die or if they get jumped or they get, punched in the face because of this acclaimed fame. My honest opinion is do not come back to the hood once you elevate. I understand if you want to visit your loved ones, you want to visit your friends and your family and stuff like that, but even that's a hard thing to do because once you start getting into a different abode and you start having making money for yourself and you start to be in a different tax bracket, then it calls for a lot of things that could happen to you because a lot of people out there are hyena and savages. And when they know that this man got all this money, he got all this bread, they ready to fight him for that cash and steal his cash because they see an opportunity to rob someone blind. And this is the problem that I feel is one of the mankind, the childlike aspects, especially of the so-called black man that lives in the hood. He cannot differentiate the fact of the matter that is not the same environment that he grew up in once he starts to put himself in a different type of tax bracket again or put himself in a situation where he's earning more money than the people he grew up with. It just doesn't make any sense. So, at the end of the day, I always say that, brothers, especially, the mindset should just be about building, being better for yourself, and just getting into a different type of attitude and atmosphere instead of paying attention to dumb shit like this, flexing money in front of the Greens, which is a project type of housing out there in Connecticut, and then you wonder why you got punched in your face. There's nothing good about this situation because this man could have lost his life knowing the fact of the matter that that's gang territory. So just think on that. Peace.